Got a new mic? Is that new?
Yeah. Yes. No.
Oh no. Okay. Well, hell yeah, dude. You're evolving.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's vibing.
I was wondering. I didn't know if he just didn't post it because we probably talked about some crazy ass shit. So I was just like, oh shit, I'll want it then if he doesn't want it. So I thought I'd.
Oh no. Trust me. No. Like the whole purpose of this thing is to get it to where I don't need anyone. And I can say all the crazy ass shit I want.
That's what I assumed. So I didn't know if you were like worried, if
Nope.
someone saw some crazy ass shit we were
Nope.
saying. Because I know we did a lot of topics soon.
Yeah. If anything, I might have been concerned for your job safety, but you said that Florida was kind of cool. But I don't know. You're in Georgia now, so we may have to keep it a little cool.
Well, I don't have my name on here or anything, and I'm not connecting any social media to like my real life, so I'm just kind of like this other entity on the.
Oh, so people would literally have to be like, that looks like Mr. So and so.
Yeah, they would have to literally connect a lot of shit, and then it would be a lot of. What are they gonna really? Honestly, you can't get fired from your job unless you're doing something like illegal, like that's that's maybe like talking to minors in a bad way or something like that. It would have to be something really drastic. They can't fire you off just something you said on social media, like based on your opinions about politics or religion or something like that, unless it's like trying to cause harm is basically the.
All right. So what if you like a Marjorie Taylor Greene post about how Republicans are being treated like Nazis in a concentration camp? Is that one of those lines where like, we might need to get rid of this cocksucker?
I don't know. It just depends, I guess. If I basically pick out a group, I would say I don't. I'm on contract, so it's kind of hard. I've already.
Oh yeah, no, that's really hard.
So. I'm not too worried about it. And the kids that I'm teaching, they're not seeing my TikToks. They're getting little dances and bullshit.
Oh, I highly doubt that someone's algorithm is going to be like, little Timmy here is interested in daoist philosophy and the humanist expansion of technology and communism through technology.
Yeah, they're not getting my metaphysical fucking...
No, not at all.
Bullshit. So, yeah, I think I'm okay. I usually get high schoolers to, up. Just pretty much it. I don't get any people like in middle school,
That must be that must be a bit intimidating to get like high schoolers as your students. Cause like, but I mean, I assume both of us are around like 26, 27. That's damn near where they're at. Like that must be, it's like,
yeah, it's weird.
Who's this guy? It's like, is this a new student? It's like, hi, I'm the teacher. It's like, oh, no, you're not.
Biggest teacher at my school, or I was. Now that I'm moving, so I was like, they thought I was like a student, all the other teachers. So it was weird. Like I connected culturally more with the students than the teachers, because there was like no one near my age. Maybe like the next age that was close to me was probably like 35 or late 30s, early 40s, and so they're like, and I'm talking to the kids about all music and cultural story, like just stuff, and I was like, oh, I know I'm connecting more with them than this group. It was some like this weird sandwich area.
Yeah.
Trying to fit in. So
like the next person that would be close enough to your age group would be like the teacher assistant that comes in for college courses.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like fresh in college, got my first job teaching and shit. So it's kind of weird having to, hopefully my new job has more people my age. So, we'll get in a better spot.
With Atlanta, I'm sure.
Yeah, it seems like a cooler spot. So I'm excited. And it's pretty sick because it's I only teach in person once a week. Rest of it's just online. So
really, I'm surprised with that. I would think you would assume, as hardline as he am, Kemp would just be like, you're going to school, you're going to class, fuck all of you. You die if you die.
Yeah, I was surprised too. So there, a lot of people are about to be online this next year. I guess people are still scared, so they're hiring a lot of online teachers. So
Oh, well, it's all these southern states think it's all these southern states. Their algorithms are, look, it sticks because there's a magnet.
yeah,
I sent a video, like I got like a bottle cap and then I like popped it on my tongue and I
uh,
sent it to my brother. I was like, look, the vaccine's real.
are
And
you
he's like,
vaccinated?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was when I first saw that, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Oh my God. And then,
yeah,
no, same
not
here
real burning
because
person.
you would think, like, because you know there's like one person that like did it as a joke or whatever, like they're used to doing it to like their forehead or whatever, and then it
Yeah,
just, and they're like, how can I possibly fuck up the socio political atmosphere of the country just a little bit more than normal?
yeah, and it's like the conspiracy is kind of, it's odd. Like they're like saying, "Oh, they want to control everybody" or something. And it's like, why would they want to control the people who they don't? I saw somebody talking about it on another podcast. It's pretty hilarious. It was like, why would you want to keep the all the people who are against the vaccine to be the ones that are like, uh, not controlled? I don't know. It was just like very like, well, what's the plan here? Why
Yeah,
would they go out of their way to do all that shit? So I don't know.
honestly, and I liked how they kind of did it. It was weird how they did it. They announced the vaccine the literal day after the election. Like, if they would have announced the vaccine's release, or even like, we're 3 days away from the vaccine being approved, guys, it all looks good. Hope
Yeah,
is on the way, change is on the way. Like a day or two before the election, I honestly think Trump might have won because I think he was like 40,000 votes in between all the states that he lost to winning.
yeah.
And I was like, that's weird how y'all just decide to announce the approval and release of the vaccine the
I'm
day
still
after the
surprised
election.
Biden won, to be honest with you. Just like I just don't understand where his following was. I was like, I was on Bernie. I thought Bernie would be the
Exactly.
that's
Dude, I'm
confused.
so
Who the
fucking.
hell?
If I ever get to talk to Bernie, I want to be like, are you mad? Because I'd be fucking furious. Two
Yeah,
times. Two times.
man, I was so confused. Like fucking Biden. Who the hell's
I,
president anyway? Not my
well, they
area.
wanted to have Kamala Harris, but fucking Tulsi Gabbard sunk that battleship.
Yeah, yeah. I like Tulsi.
Oh my
Like,
God.
well,
Her
what
and
do you,
Biden, Tulsi VP, Biden president. Shit.
that wouldn't even work. I can't even see. I don't even think they agree on a lot of shit, do they? It'd be odd. They're kind of like different in a way.
Uh,
Kamala and him are more puppet. I feel like she's not as as puppetry as them. I don't know,
yeah.
but
Well, they're all, I mean, they're both of like, we mine our own, we help where it's needed financially, but we stay out of it as far as boots on the ground goes. And honestly, I think that's enough to at least start it, because it's not like she can be like, okay, I'm tired of this old Bernie fucker quitting VP. So I'm like,
I wonder if Bernie's done now. He's like 80 something now. He's
yeah,
probably
dude, had a heart attack mid campaign, got off, got up next day.
what passion does that guy? If you don't even agree with him, that dude has some fucking
Oh, that's what I say to every person. I pull up a video from early 2005 where some dude said faggot pertaining to like men and women in the military, and he's like, I'm sorry, did you just insult our service members? He's like, oh no. He, and the Republican, I was a California Republican, which the as a senator, which that's, I was like, wow, times have changed, am I right?
yeah. I mean, yeah. It's interesting because like I don't he was such a I thought he had it. It was like his third time running. Like I don't know how many times he tried to become president. It's like
He ran with Hillary, I believe, but I don't think it was. No, yes it was. Yes it was. But I can only remember the other notable 2 times. Now, he might have picked up steam his first time, and it just wasn't that, like, they literally stole it from him close. But these last 2 times was they literally stole it from him
He's got a good
close.
brain for his age, though. You got to think he's like what, early '80s, and he's still all there, like very quick-witted.
Oh my God, dude! Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, all those guys. Like, I know how I'm listening to Kyle Kalinske, and he was talking about how Dave Rubin said, I just can't find any guests because the liberals don't want to come on. And he's like, no, the liberals that you can beat don't want to come on. If I came on your show, I'd beat your ass 3 ways to Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, so would Bernie. Bernie would fucking murder you.
So you hate that, I don't even know what to call this. I call it like punk right kind of people, like this new right.
Ben was like kind of not like that in the beginning, and then he started getting more kind of memey.
Rubin, you mean, or Shapiro?
Both, honestly. Well, Rubin's always kind of been like that, to my knowledge, but Shapiro was a little bit more, I would say, straight-laced, and then like he saw, oh wow, if I like dunk on this guy in like the most 5-year-old way possible, I get like 4 times the reaction on Twitter, so I might want to do that.
Yeah, I think both sides, that far right and far left, I disagree with both. I mean, honestly, I think the far left cringe me out more than the far right do sometimes, but they both cringe me out. There's just like this middle ground that's not being tapped into because there's not money in it. You want to be as fucking radical as possible so you get views, comments, and likes and shit. So this punk right, like Shapiro, Rubin, Crowder, people are trying to lump in like Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan into it, but I don't really think they really fit that mold as much. But there's like this it's interesting. I don't know.
I haven't really seen an argument for Jordan Peterson to be like the Shapiro-y type, but I've because they apparently like based the new Red Skull in the Marvel comics around Peterson, but I'm like, what has he really said? Like, he is Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah, the thing, I think it's just when he went against all that not transhuman, all those trans rights and shit that they had. I forget the bill.
Yeah, that's
his philosophy on that. I think they kind of just gripped on that and made him look like he was just like evil. But when you really dive into his lectures and all his books and what he says, I mean, he's not like an evil figure. He's just trying to help people, in my opinion. And he's got some very interesting ideas. He's a very like intelligent guy. It's just like a lot of people like to just kick him under the rug and not really dive in because it's kind of obvious people haven't really looked into him. And they like to jump on the whole benzo thing that he was addicted to, whatever medication he was on. And he had some, issues with his wife had cancer and shit. He just came back. Like, it's been a year. He's been on hiatus,
Yeah. I think that was him like barely making it through the whole way.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of stress. I think he had a lot of shit on his plate. And, his wife also getting it. And I think he was on pills to chill himself out. He was doing constantly lectures, podcasts, and dealing with all the social media coming at him and polarization. That's just really shitty right now. And there hasn't really – I saw this is pretty interesting. It's super – like, it's so not punk. It's like you would think the far left is punk, but they're really not. They're not punk at all. Like, it's very like, for the government, very pro anything that's basically falling into whatever the government says, having the government pay for everything, and being very critical about what we should do and how we should act and how people should be. It's kind of interesting because it's like they look like they would be part of like a punk band if you saw them like at a show, but their philosophy is kind of flipped. And it's almost like the right is almost becoming more of the punk area in a way, but not like the super alt-right, obviously. There's like this middle ground area that's kind of like unnamed, I guess, just centralism, I guess,
Yeah.
which is super broad. I don't even know what characters kind of live in this domain, you know? So I guess we need more figures, I guess, that kind of mix the two. And and I'm honestly seeing it more through comedians, like stand-up comedians are the only ones that really are kind of mixing these two and being kind of rational about everything, which is, kind of funny. It's not
Yeah, because like the stand-ups, like they're so like I would say diverse in their like ability to like knowledge wise, like they understand like all the geopolitical stuff because they either hear about it from friends who are from there who are also comedians or whatever have you. And so they're normally very far to the left or more center left than normal because they have to be aware of all these different things because there might be a bit in there. Maybe I can make fun of that in a bit, and then maybe like kind of like now you're aware of the subject as my audience member. But now like so many of them were getting into trouble for just like doing a gig in their backyard paying for it. I know like Whitney Cummings like got a lot of shit.
Oh, what happened with her?
She did shows in her backyard, tested everybody, like, and of course, like they're like her, Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, all those, Tim Dillon, like they're well off, so they can kind of afford it. But at the same time, their explanation is all these comedians who probably aren't as funny, but really kind of hammer into that like super woke left, and then get like the corporate. Where they get like the corporate gigs and they shit's like, and us stupid white people, and everybody laughs and they get a paycheck and they survive off of that shit. They were like, well, I can't do that because corporations aren't hiring me anymore. And I'm not funny enough for the average Joe and comedians in the comedy world. So yeah, so they just Twitter bomb them. It's like, why are you here? People are dying. It's like
you just listed are like, I would say central people. Like even throw like Bill Burr in there, and they might come off as to the woke far left. They might come off as very right wing, and oh my God, they're transphobic and racist. And they're really not.
They're not.
And if you look at what they actually stand, they're actually liberal. Like, and I'm it's not like I'm liberal. Like when I do like an actual like test and see where I'm at, I Republican and all that shit is very low on the list for me. But for some reason, I'm cringing out super hard to this woke culture that's super just not stitched together well. It's very just loosey goosey and like there's not like it's like they're fighting it's eating itself. It's like this weird apparatus of like there's no organization. And I guess the comedians are like this middle ground of like poking fun at both sides. And it's like, and people are finding, I guess like Tim Dillon is very interesting dude. He's pretty funny.
Dude, Tim Dillon is a fucking riot. I actually remember seeing him on some Fox News segments. Like he actually made the Hillary Clinton eating babies joke, like on one of the little like mid-afternoon segments of Fox News he was on. No, he was testing it out, and like everybody else was like right now they would be like, yeah, Hillary eats babies, woo, and but then they were like, oh, the fuck is he talking about?
It's interesting. Yeah, you're right. These it's the who's getting the views, like the comedy world right now is this like set of podcasters is what's going on. Like they're like, compare it to probably like SNL, compare it to all the late night shows and stuff. These like groups of guys and girls that are doing these podcasts are really the ones bringing in the views, aren't they? Like, like Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, and like frenemies or just any kind of podcast like this. It seems like this is where everyone wants.
Hell, going back to Tim Dillon, he himself, and I've heard this from him and multiple other people, they literally don't need to do comedy anymore. They just need to get about 1 million people that'll tune in a week, which 1 million people in the internet is not a lot. I mean, just 1 million people on TikTok is like almost like, oh, okay, so you kind of have a small basis. You have a decent little tiny baby platform building
like
up there.
1 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, your following still in diapers. Has it taken its first steps yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're like, I don't even need to do comedy. I just need to do this podcast once a week, talk shit for an hour and a half, and then on top of the YouTube views, if they're monetized or not, and on the Patreon, I'm good. I don't need anything. Which, yeah, they're right.
Yeah. And
I mean,
1 million followers on TikTok, and if you have a merch store and you're pumping out information, you could probably make a business out of it easily.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a significant amount. It's crazy what TikTok has done compared to Vine. Like when you look at like the numbers and like, because like Vine, if you had 1 million followers on Vine, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, you're King Batch, you're Amanda Cerny, you're Logan and Jake Paul.
Yeah, you're like one of those crazy like top motherfuckers that. And
high school student in Minnesota, and he's moved out to Los Angeles to finally realize his dreams of becoming a superstar.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because like I think the highest like amount of followers on Vine was like around 10 million, 9 million, if I'm right. But you look at TikTok, what's the highest? How much is what
Bella Porch?
Have? Like,
it's Bella Porch.
She won now?
It's Bella Porch.
Oh,
yeah. The other one is that African dude. I can't remember his name. Actually, I'm going to look him up. Is that African dude that like those little wish, not wish, but like the little daily life hacks that does the little song, the bum, 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 bum. And then like, it's like, here's how you take a extension cord out of a wire, or an extension cord out of a cup handle, and they like break the cup handle, and he's like,
oh yeah, he's number 2.
He's number 2.
Shitting me.
No, he's number 2. They're equating it to where. Yeah, of course you do, because you've seen him like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So they're equating his popularity, and it makes total fucking sense once you hear it. I'm literally going to see your eyes like widen in realization as I say it. Is he doesn't speak. So there's no language barrier. So a Spanish dude can watch and be like, I know exactly what's happening. Yeah, see? Caught that shit live on camera. Like you can put every person in every language from every country in the same room. One person like, oh, that's Bella Porch. And so everybody else is like, I think I've seen her, but I don't understand what she's saying. So
yeah, also if you're just attractive, every person from everywhere can be like, oh, pretty face.
Yeah. Well, he's a dude though. So he's not traditionally like,
I'm talking about the girl, but yeah.
Yeah. Hell, and even her most popular TikTok was just something, her not doing anything and making those the faces behind that video or that the audio. Yeah,
exactly. So, it's good for them, but I think being that big is just not. I don't know. I feel like you're limited. It's like you got to do something very generic and kind of very just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
You either become big like Porch and again, I apologize. Just if he ever hears this like 50 years in the future when it's like the anniversary, it's like, here's one of the original podcasts. And I'm going to hate it. But we're about to be able to equate what TikTok followings are in translating to real world views, because she's supposedly going on tour with someone else. And how many times are people going to buy a ticket to hear her sing Build a Bitch? Like, it's a great song. It slaps. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good.
I haven't heard it.
Really?
Dude, I've like curated my I don't get those people on my TikTok. The shit I want to see, like just comedy and just weird fucking shit, honestly. Just I get a lot of like live like one hit wonder videos, which I like.
Okay.
Like kind of like, whoa, what the fuck was that kind of shit? And then a lot of philosophy, psychology shit, a lot of political shit, which I'd like to get less of, honestly. But because it definitely sees what you look at, I guess, and it's one of the best algorithms I've ever seen.
Oh my God, no, it's the discoverability. Like, again, my podcast would probably have nowhere. Like, I'd probably be a once a month episode podcast, if not for TikTok, for the sole purpose that the discoverability on TikTok is phenomenal.
Where I know your give me your TikTok. I want to follow you. I don't know where it's at.
I think you already have. Like,
I know I follow you on Instagram, but I don't know where. I don't. Is it the same name as?
Yeah, it's Trollin' Badger.
Okay. Do you put like little clips from the podcast on there?
I do every now and then. I'm going to start doing it a lot more now that I have the ability to.
That's
but
what I notice a lot of people get popping off from. It's just putting clips, like little highlights from podcasts, and it leads them down, to the actual,
Yeah, because I don't like the whole part 1, part 2 kind of vibe. So I have to throw in a 60-second clip, but those are so hard to naturally curate. But on the offside, I have a friend, Christian Reeves. Shout out to him. I've been on his podcast. He'll be on mine soon enough. Where he would just throw 5-minute conversations cut up into 5 parts and just throw them on there. So he's got like he would literally have just 1,000 views. I literally think he just took all of his clips from his clips channel and just threw them up there. Yeah. And I think he's I think he's sitting at about 10K, and it's just off of podcast clips and tiny. Yeah,
YouTube. Okay.
Both. But yeah, he has his own podcast. But again, it's
a certain amount. You can get 3 minutes on TikTok. Put 3-minute videos on there. I think you got to have a certain amount of followers or something. I'm not.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Which it didn't used to have that. So that's what caused that line of thinking. But now, 3 minutes that's pretty good. You can do a lot with 3 minutes.
It's just crazy to me how TikTok has taken over. Like, honestly, Instagram's dying. They're not keeping up at all with it. Only way to go on Instagram is to kind of just it's just people that wanted to show off what they did when they went to dinner the other night. Just like a quick pic, but no one's really. I saw an interesting take on it. Is like Instagram was more of kind of like showing off your most ideal life and faking a lot of shit. Like, this is what I'm doing. TikTok is this. It's all about authenticity and being who you are. That's what culture is starting to gravitate towards, is people being original and being like, expressing themselves instead of like these like, I went to this restaurant over here, and like, it's like Instagram. Facebook is still like the 35 plus like domain for, I guess, the older crowd, but I mean even that crowd's coming to TikTok. I mean, like, everywhere it seems like. I mean, Snapchat's kind of still kicking, I guess. It just seems like TikTok is just and TikTok and YouTube are probably just the top ones, right? If you measure.
Because Instagram, yeah, you're absolutely right. Instagram is where you would like rent a fake private jet hangar or a console for like an hour and then post the pictures in a month or so. Be like, we're on a private jet. It's like, nah, bitch, no, you're not. We see you.
But it's probably killed. Is what they're recently trying to do is show likes again. They're asking about like bringing back the likes. And when they took away the likes, I bet you could see an actual trend of it going down. Even though people were arguing about, it made people sad and self-conscious about like, this girl has more likes than me, blah, blah, blah. People were getting, suicidal and all that shit. But overall, I think people want to see how many likes they're getting, and they want to compare themselves. Especially a lot of girls love Instagram. Like, it's definitely more of a girl area because they want to like, dress up, show off, and especially if you're a pretty girl, that's like the place to be. So it's just I bet you can see like a correlation with it kind of dropping after they took out the likes and everything, because I don't know, it seems like it's not as popular as it was a couple of years ago. And I don't know if that's because TikTok just took over and they're trying to copy TikTok's format. I guess they're not getting the algorithm right, because like I know YouTube is trying to do these YouTube shorts, which are not as good. And then Instagram, I forget what they're called. Instagram has it too.
Reels.
They do like Reels, which is just TikTok. It's just people putting their TikToks on there.
Yeah, but you have to go to another page, which the thing about TikTok is you don't have to do anything. You touch the app and it just first video, boom, in your face. But with Instagram, like you're done scrolling for the day. It gives you like bum, ba, bum, you're done. Everything's been posted, has been seen. And then you're like, well, now I have to go to the Reels. But it's like, no, you have to close out and go to TikTok and boom, the magic happens. Like
you're seeing the real shit, first page, like going. And that's another thing. TikTok is addicting. If you can scroll all day, you can go all day. You can be like, oh my, I got to get off this fucking app. I've never had anything where I'm like, get this away from me. I have to like,
it's bad. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I'm going to fall asleep at 12. I'm going to get a good rounded 8 hours like a responsible adult with a responsible adult job. And now it's 3:30. Fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just lose, but there's just so much good shit, man, and it's all.
Dude, it's affecting me. I can't binge like anime anymore without like being within the middle. I'll be like 4 episodes into a 12 episode binge. Halfway through the 3rd episode, I'm like, I'm bored. Fuck, they're in the dead middle of a fight scene. Like the animation's banging, and I'm just like, I'm bored. Like they're fighting. I get it, but when's this gonna end? Let's get to something new.
I'm watching Naruto. I've gotten pretty far, and I'm just getting to where I'm like, we're so small now. It's like that's why I think movies. Well, I don't know. Podcasts, like long form podcasts, are really popular. Why are those really popular? And then we have like really quick bitted videos where we want to be entertained. And it's like also movies are like dying. People would rather have like a long ass show where you see a character develop through multiple seasons. And
better, absolutely. Dude, when they came out with the Green Arrow on CW first, like when they first came out with Green Arrow, like, you had your Spider-Man, but Green Arrow was nowhere near as big as all them. But I fucking loved it. I was like, yes,
I never watched it, but I've heard it's pretty good.
It's good. Give me 10, 30-minute episodes, 5 hours, flesh it out. Because Green Arrow in an hour movie, it would have been like, you would have had to throw like Spielberg or fucking M. Night Shyamalan behind that bitch to like really have it hit home. But with just like any Joe Blow can make a 5-hour TV series and pretty much get it, pretty much run it home.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the only movies that I think people are going to watch are like fucking Marvel movies.
Yeah, no. I had a friend. We can call him a friend. I had a friend at work that's like, dude, because like he's like into Dogecoin, Bitcoin, all this investing. He's like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing I can do? And a movie theater we've had here in this college town for years has shut down, like just COVID and shit. And apparently he had a bunch of other stuff like, let's just say if they had UV lights, a lot of the employees might call out sick for sunburn the next day. So let's just say that little tidbit of a rumor was flying around. So yeah, they're shut down. And he's like, what if we open a movie theater? And I was like, here's why this is a bad idea. Everybody, when are you going to a movie theater again? Everybody's like, the fuck do you mean? No, I'm not going to a movie theater. I'm like, I myself will go to see Avengers, maybe, unless I can get an 80-inch curved 4K in my living room, which again, that's $600. That's not
what they need to do though. The only thing about movies that I miss is like you're with a lot of people. You get to enjoy a big movie on the big screen. But what they need to do is put the shows at the movie. So each week release the next episode, and maybe you're clumped up with a group where you've seen the first episode together and you guys are building up to the finale.
Yeah. And me and my brother did that with Attack on Titan.
Really?
We watched season 4, like it was hard too. I was like, he's like, I gotta work. I won't be available till 10. I'm like, bitch, you better get off early. You better run home because 10:05, I'm starting this motherfucker up. And we would just like
people, like going to the theaters to watch maybe like Game of Thrones. Imagine if they were releasing every episode week by week and everyone's getting pumped. Like you're like, you don't know these people, but now you're like friends because you guys been watching this series together and it's been building up.
I think that will happen with like VR. We'll like be able to like beam into this virtual room and have like a virtual movie theater, and still within the comfort of your own home. You're not paying $20. You still have your steak in front of you. You can like kind of have like a side camera with a little side window right here in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see outside, and it's like, grab the steak.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're right. You're right. That's probably what's going to happen because VR, that's coming soon. Like really big. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I mean, how are we going to transfer like just video games, you know, holding like a handheld thing, and then where you're just moving around and you're immersed in some kind of like.
We're going to have an entire 20 by 20 room dedicated to VR. It's gonna have tracking dots on the fucking walls. It's
be like a treadmill kind of thing where you don't like run into the walls or something.
Exactly. And if that's not what the game is, if you have like a person-on-person judo sparring game or like fucking samurai swords just clanking each other.
And we might actually get fit, like honestly, because like
oh my god, dude.
Like if you're training and you think you're a goddamn I don't know, Jedi, and you're like learning how to be a fucking Sith Lord in this Star Wars universe, or like you're a Pokemon trainer running through the Kanto region or whatever, you're gonna come out fit, and like when you have to go to work, you're like, damn, dude, I ran like 20, like a couple miles the other day, like in my virtual reality. So, you know, and it's gonna be the rich people at first having this because you, like you said, it's gonna have to be a big ass room.
No. Never underestimate really poor people and their willingness to pile on the credit card debt.
No doubt. But I'm thinking like I'm wondering, like it's, you know, I guess like Ready Player One kind of thing, maybe like a.
All that, if it worked and was marketable, I do not see that entire rig cost more than $10K. Yeah. Treadmill, haptic chest, haptic pants, gloves, goggles, and maybe the yearly subscription if that's what it comes down to. I don't see that being more than $10K, and I can see that. I can see people being like, yeah, no, I'd do it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once that shit hits the mainstream, it's going to be ridiculous. Remember when the PS3 was about to come out? That shit was going for
$600.
Yeah, I saw it for like $50K at some point. There's crazy people selling it for like ridiculous amounts of money. So, I mean, when it first comes out, it's like, oh, that's too expensive. And then once it starts hitting the mainstream, you have different versions come out. Man, you can go to Walmart and buy a fucking pack or have someone deliver it to you. It's going to be crazy, man. We're probably going to be in our mid-30s when it's kicking in. And it's and that's where all the superstars are going to be. You're going to have like all these people who are really good at whatever game they're doing. And then what's crazy, it might even translate to regular life. Like if you learn how to do judo or like jujitsu, and you're actually in the real world, like, oh my God, I know how to do all this shit. And then you could even learn how to like do rocket science. You could have like this super like haptic feedback kind of thing where you see all the wires and it's like all 3D and you're moving around in this world like a ghost, you know, being an engineer. And you're like, oh my God, I understand this engine. And it's so much easier for me to like put my mind around it in this game or whatever. So
yeah, and it's kind of like Ender's Game where like he's like, oh, it's a practice simulation. It's like, no, they're actually doing it. So you think you're playing an engineering game where you're building rockets and there's a robot mimicking your moves. It's like, yeah, no, it's actually it's like you paid for the game, but we're actually working you, bitch.
We need you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, there's this on the other end of the world. There's a robot mimicking that person's. That's crazy to think about. Dude, it's going to get weird as shit in the next.
Dude, there was actually this one game. It was kind of like the Black Mirror episode where like there was this game that like injected you with drugs when you killed aliens, but the aliens were like actually like homeless immigrants in like that world's Palestine or something, just the third world country of a chosen minority that they want to get rid of. So it'd literally just be people, like it would be people in a robot just running around. It's like, oh, child, gah, and just pop them down. It's like, oh. So when's it get to that? When is it like, here's the newest and greatest MMORPG free shooter game on the market, and then it's like, oh, we're fucked. We're committing war crimes.
Yeah,
Shit.
you're actually in control of a robot that's out in the Middle East clearing out of town or some shit.
Exactly. You're like, your objective today, if you choose to accept it, mow down the entire civilization of the Karath army. It's like, no, they're fucking civilians.
Wow, this is really real. And you're like, you got kids crying and shit. You're like, oh, I can't play this. Holy fuck.
Like, there's one person, let's go get that training cap. It's a kid, it's a fucking kindergartner class doing jumping jacks, and it looks like they're like a training the army. It's like, no, they're children doing jumping jacks.
Well, I think our instincts would kick in, you know, like even if I played a video game on the computer and you're killing little kids, it's still like, oh, I don't want to play that. It's fucked up, you know. It's like it's so weird. So I mean, if you were like, unless you're a psychopath, I mean,
yeah. How's those instincts doing on your third hour of TikTok?
Do what now?
How's your instincts doing on that third hour of TikTok scrolling?
Oh, I'm not catching what you're saying.
You're saying you would think your instincts would catch the realism of a actual person begging for their life as to a programming. I'm like, how's your instincts doing on that third hour of TikTok?
Yeah, good point. You know, I guess it depends how they would. I guess how they would make it. I mean,
and also when you think no one's being harmed, I mean, we're a warrior species that have been murdering people for the last 10,000 years. That shit is genetically inside of us. It is a genetic memory that we fight, which is kind of good. Like because if you'll get a person drunk enough, they'll get a little handsy, just be like, I'm a big shot motherfucker. But if you don't like, and it's nothing inherently wrong, but if you get a person on a video game not being watched, they'll do some cruel shit just because. I mean, no one's being harmed.
I'll just go run around and run over people.
Exactly. Like you'll get a bonus in a game for no mercy kills.
Yeah. Okay. No, I hear you. It's just you know, I think with that instinct that we have, that's the reason there's not a lot of wars. Like, I mean, there are bad things going on in the world, obviously, with, you know, Israel and Palestine, Ukraine, and like Taiwan. And I mean, there's tension, obviously, but not compared to what was, you know, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago. And I think, you know, we're going on the internet. That's why there's so much just tension on Twitter and people just arguing. It's like, we want to battle. We want to, and then I think these games, I think people are already doing that now. They're getting it out of their system, like playing Warzone and, you know, like Apex or fucking Fortnite and shit. I think when you get into these haptic feedback, you know, suits, you know, you're going to be in the game fighting, and it's like you can have these big ass wars with people across the world, and you're just going to get that out of your system. You're going to feel like a champion. You're going to like take over this virtual world and shit, and people are going to praise you too in that world. People are like, that dude's the fucking man. That guy, like, because
there's going to be literal scoreboards tracking you.
Oh yeah,
you'll have fan channels live stream your every moment in the game.
It'll be you know, like Twitch, but they'll see your eyes as you're playing, and they'll hear you talking and shit, and people are like, you know, giving you money or whatever, and it's like total. And this might be a good thing for something, like, you know, I think it's the rest of the world. Like, I doubt that will happen where we're actually going and killing. That could, if it got hacked or some shit, I don't know. But I think overall, the real world will be kind of just chill and tamed out, and everything else will be done virtually. And, you know, that's how wars are now, or economic wars, really. It's all about money now. We're not going
you have the JSW or JWS plant, the Colonial Pipeline, like that there was no boots on the ground, there are no casualties, like, but that cost like, I don't even know, that was money. That was if they were serious, that would have been bad. Like, it seems like the dark side with the colonial, they're just like, oh, proof of concept. We're a company. Our company's goal is to blackmail companies into paying us in cryptocurrency, which somehow the FBI got back, and which is why my crypto portfolio is garbage right now. But
I know. I totally got out of it. I just took all my money. I just what I could muster out before it went down. Do you think it'll go back to where it was? I don't think it's
absolutely, absolutely. Unless there's a fundamental change, because like I think this time and another time it went down 40%. They thought there were fundamental issues with the coding. They said like, because if the FBI can just get your money, then that's like, oh, it's the government secretly in charge of my money, which is the whole part about cryptocurrency. This is my money. I own the key. No one can access it. And it's just mine. But if the government can actually sneak in there, what's to stop you from taking out a $50,000 loan when Bitcoin's at like 25K, buy 2 Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin go up to $1 million a coin, and now you have $2 million. What's from stopping the government from being thank you, taxpayer? That's when shit gets a little wonky.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a while, I think, till it reaches where it was. I mean, maybe a couple years. I don't know. Unless
I disagree, because it's already there. It's already been there. Back? No. It's already been there. Like, people know it can reach it. So all it would take is like one really good news. Yeah, all it takes is some really good news and people just running it. Like, people just throwing their money into it. Though. What's up?
Well, hopefully it's flimsy as hell, isn't it, though?
Yeah, no, it is. It is pretty flimsy. But at the same time, we're talking like the Ready Player One sphere. All that was done with a cryptocurrency. So, I mean, because like with Ethereum, like right now, you could put your house on the market with Ethereum on a smart contract. You have this smart contract. You throw it out there. And it's like, for $500,000 in crypto or in Ethereum, I want someone to buy this house. And then you like attach pictures, you attach a 3D rendering of the house that someone can walk through with their VR headset. Someone's like, this is the perfect house. I love it. Here's the records. Here's everything. It shows it's good. Cool. And then they send you the 50,000 in crypto. And that's it. You don't need a realtor. You don't need a bank. You just have it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, I like the whole blockchain idea. I mean, that's definitely the future. I'm just, just worried, because I did put some money in there and then it crashed and I'm like, fuck. So I'm fine. I didn't lose anything. I made profit just enough. It was not what I had that I wanted to take out, but I did get a little bit. But I think I'm going to look now and just, regular stocks probably now. Just I'm going to take a break from crypto. I mean, I probably should put some money in now, but.
Oh, it's absolutely when you should put money in now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a friend. He's like, dude, because I told him, because I made my down payment with a crypto investment. I put $1,000 into crypto, and then I put it into like BlockFi, so I started earning a little bit of interest on it. And I'm sitting here repping BlockFi, but so I did that in January when we were at like 35K. And then right at the Coinbase IPO, that's when Bitcoin ran to like 64. And I'm like, the second this buy the rumor, sell the news with the and that's when it started its downtrend, was when Coinbase IPO'd. So it was at like 64. I think I sold at like 63. So I literally got I think it was a $2,600. So I almost doubled and a halved my money, just off of the interest and off of just the natural growth of the cryptocurrency. So I made a down payment for my new car with an initial $1,300 crypto investment.
Damn. So what was the final profit again?
I'd say about 1,500.
1,500. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I recently just got into it. I got really into Ethereum because I felt like
Dude,
that was the next.
no, Ethereum's where it's at, especially with the NFT market, because Bitcoin's always been like a store of value, anti-inflationary kind of crypto, which it
Yeah.
is the gold of the internet, which it's limited. There's never going to be more than there is now, and it's just equated to how it's equated. Like, and then I had my dad like, well, then what's stopping you from buying actual gold? I'm like, well, first of all, the government has almost all of the gold because there was a point in time where owning gold for citizens was illegal, which I didn't even know that shit. I was
I
like,
didn't know that either.
oh
What?
yeah, no, I it was Vandergrowth. Shout out to him. We were talking about it. He was like, it was actually illegal from like the 30s to the 70s to possibly 80s for the citizenry to own gold bars. Like you could have a necklace or a ring, but gold, like a brick of gold, is illegal to own. I was like, the
Jeez.
fuck?
How do you that's like
Yeah, I was
weed.
like,
Like,
how do you justify that? Like, because I'm pretty sure people then were like 30s, 40s, and 50s, their grandfather or their parents, like Little House on the Prairie styled, marched in their covered wagons from Virginia to California and watched their friends and neighbors die trying to mine gold and strike it rich. And then the government, like 100 years later, is like, yeah, that thing that you died and or damn near died for, your little brother got trampled over. Yeah, no. That's illegal.
so
Give it back
wait,
to
any
us.
amount of it was illegal?
Do what now?
Any amount of it was illegal?
Anything that wasn't like jewelry.
Oh, if it wasn't jewelry. Okay.
Yeah.
If
So
it was like
coins, bars, certificates of ownership that you like free trade because they were trying to like equate they were trying to equate the US dollar to the value of gold. Like if you have $1 million in cash, we will give you $1 million in gold. And they started
okay.
doing that a little bit. So they needed the gold for liquidity or something, I'm sure.
Gotcha.
But
So you could go and like I found some gold in the mountains, a little bit that was illegal to go like mine it.
off of the logic I just gave, I would assume so. But at the same time, like if you're going to find gold, knowing it's either illegal or not illegal, I'm sure you like possibly a permit. Like I know there are a couple of whiskey companies that were still able to stay open during prohibition for like medical reasons. Like if someone needed like a medical shot of whiskey.
That's weird. Why are we so what is up with gold anyway? Why do we like gold so much?
It's fucking shiny. So you got two streams of thought. It's shiny, it's pretty. You can easily make it into like necklaces and helmets, just banging the bitch with a rock. Or the Anunnaki genetically engineered us to love gold so that we'd collect
that's
it.
what I was thinking.
And in 100,000 years, they'll come to collect it and scatter it and vaporize it across their atmosphere to keep climate change in check on their planet.
Yep. We're just naturally pulled to it. That's correct. We've been trained to mine it. It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
So we just naturally love it. Oh yeah, I don't know. It just makes me think. Cause like, what about? I know like copper is not as like but that's still like shiny, right? When you find it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something. I mean, like it's something like even like. I think we're too ingrained. I think we're too like it's already in us. We've already been bitten by the bug. It's like you're sitting there shoveling a gallon full of ice cream down your throat. Why do people love ice cream so much? It's like you're an addict. You like it too much to be able to rationally think about it. Because once you try to think about it,
are you wearing a gold chain? Like that's all. It's like just something in our culture that we just love. But it's interesting how every culture, I assume so, likes gold.
Every culture. There's not one culture. So what's with that?
Yeah. So there's something. I think you're on something with that Anunnaki shit.
No, we can't do that.
I made a TikTok about Anunnaki, totally being sarcastic, joking, And it's one
Oh,
of the
you got
biggest
like
videos.
20K subs.
Oh God, dude, I got a slew of that crowd follow me, just that group. And I was joking. I was just making fun of it, like saying how, oh fuck, what's the lore of it? Adam is they were dropped off by the Anunnaki, Adam and Eve were, and it's a lot of bullshit. And that they caused the flood because I can't remember. It's a lot of bullshit. It's pretty fun to listen to, but I remember it got very big, and I was like, oh shit, they actually think I believe in this. I don't know how to.
You probably threw some very convincing music behind your video, and they're like, he's part of us.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I noticed after there's been like a new trend with these. What's that? It's from fucking what's that movie? Blade Runner, maybe. It's like do no 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 no. Like there's
that exactly. That was the exact song I was thinking about.
Yeah,
I was like, you throw that and you say any conspiracy theory, I'm inclined to believe you.
I know, dude. TikTok, there's like a slew of dudes that just they play that song on behind everything, and they just drop the most craziest conspiracy theories, and they're blowing up like that's the market right there. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to give in to like fucking just talking about reptilians and fucking different types of alien species that that created everything, and like flat Earth shit and all that. It's just most. It's rampant on there, and a lot of it's connected to racism too, which is crazy.
It really is.
If you dig deeper into it, a lot of people are super obsessed with it. So I try to keep away from all that. But you're right. That sound is they use that for everything. I know what the picture looks like, and it's like this little purple lady or whatever on the disc of it, and that's the same sound for fucking any kind of theory that's outside the box. Oh, but it's pretty annoying. But yeah, the Anunnaki, that's the whole gold shit. Yeah, that's probably all bullshit.
I don't know.
Definitely.
It probably. I mean, it is weird because like it is like we could probably go to North Sentinel Island right now, just like dabbed out in gold armor, and they would probably like try their because I don't know. Actually, that's actually a good point. With the natural human inclination and fascination of gold overpower their long generational like story of like anyone from not this island should be killed on sight. Like what instinct is stronger? An innate instinct that they don't necessarily exercise, because to our knowledge they're not like dabbed out in gold chains, so they're not like, they might not know what it is. So like once they're done killing you, they may be like, hey, this shiny shit on him is kind of dope, right?
Yeah,
I'm kind of digging it.
Badass. Yeah, because think about what's his fucking name, Mansa Musa, fucking from Africa. He did that big ass tour. He's but recognized like the most richest man in history. Some claim he had like $1 trillion worth of gold. He do like these big ass tours, giving out gold to everybody. I guess everybody just like looked at it as like powerful and fucking sick, and he had all these doped out necklaces and fucking rings and jewelry. But I think the same thing comes from like diamonds. We're all obsessed with diamonds. They're so pretty and sparkly. They're rare. I mean, not really with the company that owns them, but it's still like it's still tapping in the same vein of just shiny metal. I don't know what's up with that.
Which is weird because like you can, like, we all know diamonds are fake. Shit, or not fake, but the concept of a diamond is fake. We are all aware of it to some extent, or you can be quickly educated. Like I could have someone who's like, diamonds are the most inherently valuable thing in the world, and if you don't have one, you should have it in your portfolio. They're valuable forever. And you could literally sit that dude down and in 30 minutes be like, if he's open to change, he will be like, I've wasted all this money and time. But if you propose to someone and you don't have a fat diamond ring on her finger, you're poor. You're a poor person. You don't deserve her. I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos. If he does not put a diamond ring on the next girl he weds, he's poor, and I guess he's not all that. He ain't shit to begin with.
20s too. That was like a marketing scheme, like not that long ago.
Yeah, like in the 20s.
And I know the company the Beers,
yeah,
they own all the diamonds pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
Let them all hoarded out, and they're worth not shit. Isn't diamond the most hard, like one of the hardest rocks?
It's the hardest element, yes. Naturally forming, yes, it is the hardest.
Is it a carbon? I don't know a lot of things.
Yeah, it is I think it's a triangular pattern, or a what's a 3D square or 3D triangle called?
3D triangle, triangle. I don't know.
Yeah, try whatever the fuck you are. It forms that pattern.
Okay, interesting. And then gold is just gold. It's its own element as well.
Yeah. Maybe
we just have a connection with just pure fucking. That's another thing. What the fuck are elements, man? Like, what is that? It's just like, what? We just have shit that just comes from the fucking ether that just connects.
Yeah.
It have this amount of electrons on it and whatever. It's just like.
Yeah, it's just that. It's like, well, that's gold, right? It's like, well, make it something else. No, I can't. It's that down to the molecule. What the fuck is a molecule?
Maybe that might be something there. Maybe we intrinsically know it's like pure fucking just
that. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because having like a copper chain, once you're kind of done dogging him for not having a gold chain, it's still not stupid. It's still pretty badass. Like if the design is like all that, if it's like got this cool design and maybe a pendant, like after you're dogging him for like you've got a copper chain instead of a gold chain, once you're kind of done dogging that, that's still kind of cool. Like the color, it's shiny, the color's nice.
It should be, there should be this thing. I mean, I bet if you went somewhere deep in time and they didn't really know the difference, you know.
Oh, dude, I remember watching the show where I can't remember what it was. It was a K-drama, and it was like the Neanderthals, like that hadn't been killed off, or at the very bottom of this cavern where the humans can't get to it because they've got like horses and ropes and shit, and not like elevators that can descend that far. But the dude found himself over there, and a little girl that he was like kind of friends with at the beginning, a human girl, was kidnapped by a slave trader, and they're literally polishing rocks that you would buy from a tumbler kit, and they would like hammer glue them into a mud pillar around town and be like, look at these riches we hold. I'm like, bitch, that's $5 at Walmart on the clearance aisle.
It's hilarious.
Well, it's not a diamond, it's not a ruby, it's a shiny rock that they polished.
Well, oh my God, I remember when you were a kid and you're just digging and you find like a rock in the creek, you're like, this one's really cool. And it's like, it's this bullshit. It's just a shiny rock. So I guess
you couldn't pay me to get rid of that rock. You could give me actual money to survive, and I probably wouldn't give you the rock.
Yeah, so I think when, you found gold or they found diamonds or anything, it's just like, oh my God,
that's the final form of the ultimate shiny shit.
Oh yeah, because when most of it's just fucking dirt and just bullshit rocks, and you're digging, and you find like a red one, and you poke it, like, oh my God, I found some kind of godlike stone. That's why we have so much lore behind stones. Think about like every fucking movie in Marvel and DC. There's always some artifact, this motherfucking stone that does all this shit. And I think we just intrinsically have like, oh, that's rare. It must do something fucking sick. When and that's just where it's coming from. That's probably what.
And then we realized that Jeff Bezos could literally spend the $500 million he spent on his super yacht to a space exploration to lasso an asteroid and pull back the literal amount of gold we have on Earth from that asteroid, and then just be like,
what?
Yeah, because asteroids have gold in them.
Yeah. Okay.
So he could take a $500 million space exploration with like whatever, if he ever get like, and I'm sure it'll cost more than $500 million, but
Yeah, I'm
he
assuming
could probably gamble all the money he has. And I just say that for like completion because I don't want to give out an exact number. But if he gambled every penny that he had and was just like the poorest man on earth for 5 to 6 months with an asteroid that was close enough to us, I'm fairly certain that he could grab an asteroid, bring it back, and that bitch have like all the rare metals and precious shit in it, and he'd just be like,
imagine his ass fucking up and slams it into Earth. Just some mother, the richest man in the world, just fucking kills us trying to get more wealth in a rock out there.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Like, what would be like what is it like? 40 miles? Like, where is Earth's gravitational pull? Where does that stop? Are we like 40 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles from orbit? Like, what is that? Because that would be the play. Like, you have this giant spaceship like colony that's just floating in the middle of in space, and then you just grab an asteroid and drag it to the center of the donut and just latches on and spins to keep it center, and then you have mining droids go out there and grab all the gold.
Well, I think you would want to establish a good base on Mars first, since it's right there. It'd be a lot closer. You would definitely some droids or something to go out there and mine it and bring it back to Mars. They probably do all the fucking packaging and making it all pretty, cleaning everything up, and then ship it out to Earth or the moon or something. I don't know. That'd probably make sense to me.
Yeah.
Asteroid would probably be the next place to go and mine or colonize. We could figure out how to live on those things after Mars, because there's tons of obviously resources and area. I mean, imagine like an asteroid fucking belt of just cities and civilization all like connected somehow.
Yeah, imagine like the asteroid belt, like all of the like if someone told me right now that every asteroid in the asteroid belt was 5% gold, I'd believe them.
Oh yeah, probably yeah, more than that probably.
Yeah, and then they have ice, so that's fresh water. Like because I remember like 3 months ago, Kamala Harris was like, the next war will be fought over water. I was like, don't you fucking dare say that. I've watched too many movies for that shit to, God damn it.
I mean, we're already having water wars. There's tons of countries already kind of.
No, but she meant like us.
Like the United States?
Yeah.
Going to war over water?
Yeah, she said our next major war will be fought over water. And then come to find out that Bill Gates is the world's largest owner of farmland, and that all those farmlands just for some reason have massive aquifers below them.
Wow. Okay. I got to look into this. That sounds fucking crazy.
Dude,
I hope that's the last fucking war I want to deal with is finding something to drink. That's
water. Imagine a war that you have to fight or participate in, that you die if you just like, if you're like a conscientious objector, you die in 7 days.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
No.
That fucking suck.
No. Just fucking kill me. Just do it. Just fuck it. I don't care. Just do it.
Hopefully, is that due to just overpopulation or global warming?
I have no idea. Possibly both. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably the same amount of water, but just it's dirty, or it storms, so it's like polluted with dirt and trash. So like if you have a lake that you would naturally get water from, say you're like here in like Atlanta, Georgia, let's say they got a giant lake, and then a huge category 5 or 6 hurricane runs over that lake and then throws like, there's a little bit of an oil spill, there's a couple of 100 pounds of garbage, here's some runoff from a farm that uses like this secretly government banned fertilizer that they still kind of use because it's all robot workers and no people from the Greenpeace groups to report on, and all that shit drains into the lake. That lake's fucked for what, a couple years? You've got the city of Atlanta depending on that lake for their water.
Yeah. Well, desalination plants probably going to be the next.
And by what I know, there's like this there was this dude that rode, or I think it was a girl. I don't want to disrespect her or him, whoever it is. But this person rode from like the tip of South America to Antarctica, and they had like a crank desalinator that they would just crank it for like the electricity it would take to desalinate, and then that shit would just separate out. I'm like, yeah, that'll do it. All right, you're back. I see you now.
Hey, shit. We've had a couple breaks, huh?
Right. What was the last thing you heard about the water comments?
I was just talking about how desalination is probably the answer in the coming future if we can't figure out how to manage all this water. And I guess what we're going to have to do is as we're desalinating the ocean, start moving people. If it's an overpopulation issue, start sending them to the moon, fucking Mars, some space colony, I don't know, the asteroids, and then eventually Jupiter's moons might be the next place. But, there's no water there either. So how the fuck are we going to...
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to make an atmosphere or some shit.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's ice on asteroids, so we can mine the water.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that could be something. I mean, there's water in Mars. I mean, if we can tap into that, wouldn't that be fucking scary? What if we're just like this leftover human species just looking for water? We just need water we just have a little bit left, and we're just hitting up every little what's ever left in our solar system just to fucking get something to drink.
Yeah. What we need to do is we need to find out those gravity-based engines that these UFOs have, because if we keep our stuff and we don't have any new like ways of propulsion, and we can only get to Mars every 2 years once we pass each other, we're going to get to a point like we think it's bad now in America where it's Democrat versus Republican. What happens when it's Terran versus Martian?
Yeah.
I mean, 500 years ago, same fucking person. I'd stay on Terra. Your family leaves to Mars. We're pretty good friends. Our kids kind of knew each other when we hung out. But our ancestors down the line, that's a fucking dirty Terran. It's like, oh, that's one of those red-skinned Martian cucks. It's like, that's going to get bad.
Oh, yeah, dude, you're right. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be, unless we figure out how to travel faster, because it'll be a long-ass war. Like, I'm going to get to you in about 2 years. I'm going to kick your ass. So we'll see. But yeah, I could see genetics being over, and it could be maybe like 1,000+ years, maybe, until you start seeing some actual like differences.
Yeah.
Maybe the gene pool.
And we don't even know what long-term cosmic radiation will do to genetics.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're also going to have fucking genetic therapy. We're going to have some shit we're going to be doing some weird shit, like, who knows, like immortality might be on the horizon, or like just living a lot longer, just having like where you go and have some kind of thing done to where you drink something or you go through some kind of like machine
radiation bath
or something that just cleanses all your cells and rejuvenates them to where you're not aging anymore and you just stay the same age forever, as long as you're doing this therapy every couple, like once a year or some shit.
Yeah.
And that comes in degree like, okay, should we stop having kids? There was an interesting fucking have you seen the new, do you watch Love, Death, Robots?
Yep.
I just finished the first season. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Have you seen the second season?
And basically children were not allowed, and they were like basically these dudes that would go and hunt kids.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, oh my God, fuck that. Like imagine, because you would have to have, if everyone, and it was such an interesting concept. It was like, I'd rather love a kid and love something else than myself. I think after a while of living so long, I guess you're like, fuck this. I mean, I've seen everything, but I don't know. I'd love to live for as long as possible. I don't know about forever, but I would love to live more than 100 years. You know?
Yeah. I think it would have to be kind of like, and spoilers for the last season of The Good Place. I think it'd have to be like that, where it's like this kind of like, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Like everything's taken care of. Like the aliens bring us like this matter printing 3D printer machine. And like, if you want food, you have your house, the house unit prints it. If you want a new car or something, you go to like to the Walmarts that have been repurposed with the printer, and that prints that. But I think it would have to be like a good 50, 100 years, hell, probably just 50 years, who knows, honestly, of where you're just like, you're in good health, you don't age, and then you want to get into video editing or podcasting or woodworking, and then you complete everything that you'd possibly ever be interested in.
Every motherfucking thing. And
then you just walk into the ether. You just walk through a door and you're shot in the head. Instantly, you die. It's all good. It's like, it's good.
Life, you know? Yeah. And that's another thing. You'd have to make a bigger brain database to keep all this shit. And like, you know, you'd have to keep, I don't know. I feel like you would have hard drives, like organic hard drives to other things that you've learned instead of or you can have it all in this one, I don't know, some way to enhance the brain capacity of keeping all these skills and different shit you want to learn. But yeah, it's like what happens once you've done everything. You don't even have to eat anymore because your body just we've designed ourselves to where we just like exist. We don't have to have all these. We don't have to have sex. We don't have to eat. We just get all these. I guess we would have like these dopamine receptors. Like we just feel good. Like where would the motivation come? You know, like we would just basically be like this fucking meditating alien entity that just kind of just fades into, you know, the ether. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like my brother, like he got COVID and like he tested positive, but he didn't really have symptoms. And I hope Tractor Supply doesn't hear this because maybe they'll be like, oh, well, we got to get our money back that we paid him. But he had to sit in his room for 2 weeks. And again, he wasn't sick. He took a couple of home tests and they came out negative. But he was like, at the end of the first week, he was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm going out and doing shit. I'm like, that's the same argument with like the people that don't want to go back to work. Everyone's like, oh, it's the stimulus checks. It's like, no, it's that they're not being paid enough. But it's not that they're not doing anything. They have side gigs. They're doing shit on the side.
Yeah.
Because you can't just sit down and do nothing. Now, there's a small population that would. It's like 5-10% of the population that probably could lay in their bed,
watch shit all day,
watch shit on TV, scroll Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, take a shit, grab a pizza bagel out the oven, and run it like that.
Those days are nice sometimes, but
those days are very nice sometimes. But I can't do more than 3.
Yeah. You're right. I can't do more. Once you do 3, you're like, I'm a fucking loser. What am I doing?
I'm good. I'm like, because like I remember like it was a month that I was unemployed one time, and we had like the finances were covered and all that. Like we had enough. We sit there had enough. It was like we have a month and a half worth of money, cover all bills, and even a little bit extra if we want to do something. Like if we want to drive down to Florida. Drive back, we got the gas and the food covered for a day trip and get some McDonald's or some shit. But week 3, I don't know what it was. I was like, I gotta do something. I was walking around the yard picking up sticks for no fucking reason. It's like that stick should be there.
Kicking in. You want to take care of that yard.
It's up. Oh my god, fucking grandpa instincts. Like I don't think this yard is up to standard.
Stick in the backyard again.
Yeah. Mom, get grandpa. He's picking up sticks in the yard. I just want to make sure it looks nice and clean.
Well, I think something that really makes me happy, I don't know for other people, is like just doing new things, just going to new places. That sparks like just discovering shit is what humans like to do. So, I mean, if you do reach this point where we don't age, we don't die, we have a huge, just limitless capacity to learn everything we want to know, it would purely be just to discover shit. You would just, I think this species would just be traveling the cosmos trying to find the answers to every fucking thing.
Which that's the whole basis behind Star Trek. We have everything is handled. We can build spaceships out of probably nothing. We have machines that print our food, our drinks, our clothes. Everything's taken care of by these magical 3D printers. So now all we have to do is find a field that we're passionate about and literally become the best that we possibly can.
Yeah, and which is crazy because is that like a more of a Western thought? Because when you think of like Taoism, I'm really into Taoism and this like Eastern philosophy and like Zen. It's like they talk about living in the moment, enjoying every second of it, and like like even Buddhism, getting away from all these desires and motivations. It's like, is that a direction as well? And then there's also the direction of constantly finding shit and getting into something and learning. And I'm on it's a weird interest. It's so, I like to mix both of them. I like to mix the idea of living in the moment and also exploring and enjoying all the creation that this universe has to offer, but as also being in this Tao, they call it, being in this moment and enjoying every second of it and not, rushing to the next prize all the time, always trying to capture the next little dopamine rush or whatever. So it's just, what is that? What's that balance there?
Yeah. Well, again, we live forever. So who says you can't be like a world renowned psychologist or physiologist or whatever, discover the greatest thing ever, and then you go to Maui for like 3 years and live in the moment then.
Yeah, exactly. So probably both, go and be a fucking Taoist monk for 10 years up in or however long as you live forever, for 100 years, go fucking meditate on a mountain and then, go excavate some planet fucking
and find the lost civilization. Like you come back after 100 years on the mountains, like, hey, Bobby's back.
What up? I'm back.
Yeah, guys. Give me a minute. I gotta build up my core strength again. Yeah. Kind of.
And I also wonder, would motivation be because like, we all know we're gonna die. We have like 90 to 100 years.
Yeah.
So we're hustling. We're like, all right, I gotta do this today. Gotta take care of my body because if this shit breaks down, I'm fucked. And then always having to do something. And but if you have just forever, you probably procrastinate a lot, be a lot of like, I'll do that in 1,000 years. I'm just kind of going to sit in here and watch all these animes, knock this out.
But then we'd go back to my 3-day limit and I'm like, well, fuck it. Can't sit down. Can't do it. Got to get up and do something.
Human thing, maybe if you're this fucking entity that, can just fucking they don't have like these feelings of, not regret or shame for being in the bed all day eating ice cream, be like, I can eat it. I can eat as much ice cream as possible because I'm fucking fine.
And then you got those people like Bo Burnham with his new special. He's like, I wouldn't kill myself, but if I could just kill myself for like a year, I would do it instantly. And I'm like, if I could fall asleep for a year and just
that's what sleep is, really.
No. I was like, why are we so scared of death? All I want to do now is take 3 naps a day.
I know,
and have no time pass.
We're so scared of death, but we want to shut this shit off every night. We want to go and every night we want to fucking let's shut this shit down. I need a break. Too much.
I need to die for like 8 hours.
Yeah, let me die every day for 8 hours. That's really what's going on. And honestly, I think that's what kind of death is kind of going to look like before it. If it's not,
no, we can't say that. We can't say that. Death is way too appealing at that point. If it's just sleeping,
I'm wondering. I've always had this idea of like when you die, time just kind of, it comes fractal to where it's, you just live within your dreams. You just die and you kind of fade off into all your nightmares and dreams that you've accumulated in your waking life. And you just kind of, I guess, slowly fade away until it's completely nothing. Because people on DMT talk about how everything is just connected, like sounds, and everything is like, I can't even, it's hard to explain, but everything just becomes like just this vibrational energy of experience. And maybe you just kind of fade into that until you become another fucking shit that you don't remember. I don't know. And you kind of just, I don't know if you have souls. I don't know if you're just this one thing and you're going to wake up into another area and remember your past life. I don't know. I would guess that you go into the pool, this energy pool that it all stems from, and you awaken again as another being. Not really I guess kind of like reincarnation, but in that ballpark. Who knows?
Yeah, dude. Who knows? Just stuff is just so, who knows? Like, that's the whole point of it all, to try and find out. But at the same time, I have to go to work tomorrow, so we don't know. It's like we can't know. I can't sit here for,
yeah. And a lot of people, they don't have time to sit here and talk about that shit, or think about it.
Yeah. Do you know how much stuff I could get done? Do you know how much further progress my life could go if I would take the time that I sit here and talk to people about stuff and actually like got a part-time job or something?
Yeah. I would I think a lot of people just have kids and they have.
Oh my God. That's got to be the death of all. That's got to be the death of all creation at a point.
Yeah. You can manage it well. I assume if you have too many kids, fuck, man, good luck. I don't know how some.
Right.
Man, but Elon Musk, was he have like 7 kids? He's still getting shit done.
Oh yeah, but they're like grown up, and he can like afford like the attaché. Like they each have their own like Brazilian nanny with a fat ass, and they're just like, yeah, no, fuck, go build rocket ships, Dad. I don't need you here. Have a hello, Consuela.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. I'm gonna hang out here.
I'm gonna hang out here with Consuela.
Yeah, no, that'd be the shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely just people who I guess have time to think about it. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of time to do shit. I mean, I don't know how I get fucking some shit done with my job and everything in my life. I mean, I think some people just have to be kind of just into it, I guess. Some people are just kind of, I think that's why religion's easy. You don't want to think about all these things. It's easy just to take a religion on or a philosophy and be like, all right, look, this is what I believe. Jesus did that shit. I'm going to heaven. I don't want to. They've tried probably digging into it, and it scares the fuck out of them. They'd rather.
Oh yeah, dude. No, you're not supposed to. Like, there's a literal quote in the Bible that if you start having second guesses about the religion, it is a sin to bring it up to someone else, because then you might hinder their religion.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just like an easy little pamphlet. Like, here.
It's so easy. You have 10 rules to follow. You have a couple of minor rules, and
it feels good. You're like, I'm gonna go die and live with all the people that I've met. You don't question it. You're just like, oh yeah.
And that's another thing people equate to like Republican Christians not really being behind climate change, because why? You're going to heaven. Fuck the earth.
Yeah.
Why would you care about somewhere you're going to leave?
Yeah, that is weird. That's another thing. I'm very pro like taking care of our fucking planet and cleaning it up and shit. So yeah, that is a weird little tenet.
And if you come back, Jesus will just fix it with a snap of his finger.
Yeah,
because he's Jesus.
It's very simplified, and it's just easy to live by, and you don't worry at night. Because, I mean, I think when we became self-conscious, that I think we're gonna die.
Oh my God! Imagine the first person to like see like their dead brother or father, and it's like, wait, One day that's going to be
happen.
me. Fuck. Imagine the hundreds of years of people that realize that it's just like, nope, can't handle it, can't do it. Nope, can't
Oh
handle
yeah,
the
that's why a lot
existential.
of people fucking end their lives too throughout history because they're just terrified of it going down that path. Because like you see like people aging throughout life, and you're like, oh my god, they're all just rotting. Everything's just rotting away, and then
And like the suicide is like the only thing that they can control. I'm gonna do it anyway. It might as well be my own volition. Just like pop.
yeah. What? But I mean, in my case, is like you're gonna die anyway. Why? I would just. I mean, I don't know. I'm not totally on board with. I mean, I guess if some people are so traumatized to where they can't fucking get up in the morning, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Obviously, suicide's not the answer.
Oh, absolutely not. No, never.
Yeah, you could always figure it.
But at the same time, how easy right now would it be for you to make an Oreo cookie just out of nothing? Go to Walmart, grab the ingredients, make an Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they originally made the Oreo cookie, or it was not Oreo, it was Hydrox. It was the Hydrox cookie. They were geniuses.
What's the Hydrox?
The original Oreo cookie.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay. So it was another country. It's still around. Nobody fucking knows. But I was like watching.
Yeah, I've heard of that shit. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, so they invented this cookie, and then this other company came up. It's like, we've got our own cookie sandwich. But they took icing and two cookies and put it together like a sandwich. Sandwich is the concept that's lasted for hundreds of thousands of years. We know what a fucking sandwich is. But they made a sandwich cookie, and they're millionaire geniuses. You have that first person realize, I'm going to die, and then they're not thinking about how their family's going to suffer when they see them die. They're not going to think about, like, they're just freaking out. They're like, oh my God, I've just come up with this new concept that no one's ever told me. So as far as I know, I'm the first person to do this. How do I handle this realization by myself? I know, fuck it all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
right now, just like how we're like, suicide's not the answer, go get help. There's no fucking help back then. It's just you, your thoughts, and your realization that you're going to die soon.
Especially if it's a shithole world, man. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, no,
fucking in medieval Europe, fucking.
Oh no, even worse than that. You're huddled around a fire, and then a fucking saber-tooth yanks your cousin and barely misses you.
I gotta get up in the morning just to go fucking find some berries so we don't die, and I gotta drink some shitty ass water. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, if this happened to our society today, we had to go back to that. Oh my God!
So
many people will be off on themselves because back in that time, to them, like something that was amazing, their dopamine would go off through the roof if they
got a fruit, banana.
That was
like it was a part of the crudes too. Like Grug was like, I remember the first time I had a banana. I think about it every day for the rest of my life, and I'm like, eating a banana sandwich is like, huh, cool.
Yeah, to them, it's been a fucking...
Like Grug's like, the only banana I've ever had, it was the greatest experience of my life. And I'm like, a banana? Like, you think the thing that's like $1 a bundle at Walmart?
Yeah. But my whole thing is, man, the fact we exist at all is a miracle. Just the fact any of this is anything is ridiculous. Why is there something rather than nothing? Even if you do suffer or you have immense pleasure, the fact you're experiencing any of it is just miraculous. So I think offing yourself or committing suicide,
absolutely,
it's just like you're doing a disservice to like such a gift. Like
right now, this point of time in history, dumb, absolutely stupid. Don't fucking do it.
It's like go.
But back then, we have no idea.
Because if we put ourselves in those shoes of what they're doing, it might be fucking. But also, man, I don't know. It might be a good challenge. I mean, it might suck for sure, but I mean,
actually remembering, I actually remember a book where a dude went to like one of these like uncontacted tribes or where these hunter-gatherer tribes. They didn't have the concept of death. They didn't have the concept of killing yourself.
Okay.
Like, I remember they flew them out to like Britain and to like show them everything. And they're like, wait, so you work 40, so you spend most of your life working to provide for a family that you can barely see because you work all the time. And then you wake up angry to go to a job that you still have to go to, but you don't want to do. And then some of you become so sad and don't have any people, even though they live next to a million, that they stop living. And they couldn't understand that because hunter-gatherers. Yes, yes, the death rate is very high. You break your ankle, it's probably not good for you. But
you're happy as fuck.
You gather food for 20 hours a week or 20 hours. Yeah, 20 hours a week. That's all the time you need for food gathering. Yeah. You get a deer, that's a week. That's a week.
Yeah. Have you ever read Sapiens?
I've read all that man's book. Like Nohan Yuval Harari. Love it. Yeah, everything.
Dude. I mean, he talked about how I think he was talking about how hunter-gatherers are probably like way more happier. Like when we started actually farming and tilling.
Yeah, that fucked us. I agree completely. Agriculture fucked us.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it also gave us a lot of shit. But honestly, if we did go back, I wouldn't want to, like I said at the beginning, I wouldn't want to go back to like medieval, started tilling land in like Europe or something, trying to get potatoes or some shit. And that's all I need. That's probably worse than being out with a group, hanging out in a tribe, fucking hunting and gathering. Like that's probably, they lived longer. Like I think he was planning.
They did.
They lived like deep into their like 70s.
Yeah, because just until they couldn't like see anymore. Because I think the Comanches kind of did a thing. Once you became useless, they kind of like just like randomly popped you upside the head with a stone club and was like, well, now grandma's dead. That's a shame. Yeah, but because of course you'd get to a point where you'd just be like blind and you can't see, and you're kind of like useless to the tribe. And it's like, he's lived a good life. Let's just merciful cling to the head. But
probably the best way to go.
I mean, honestly, like everybody was like talking about like seals. It's like, oh my God, it's so terrible. But most predators, like they go for the insta kill. They don't like unless you're like a bear or a dingo and a wolf, they like eat you ass first while you're alive. Yeah. Like trying to like crawl away, but they're like halfway up your asshole trying to get to your intestines. Like if you're attacked by a shark, that's what, half a second of pure terror after 20, 30 years of a good life. You're a penguin. You're a penguin. You're just chilling. You're eating fish, hanging with your friends. And then like, even like there was a British explorer that was attacked by a lion that like almost died. And he explained the process as kind of euphoric, where you just kind of wanted to lie down and just let the darkness take you. So we have that built into our system.
Who said that? What was that from?
It might have been Sapiens, but I've read so many books that kind of cover the same thing.
Because it's interesting because it's like, even if you're like 99 on your deathbed, you still have this moment in time. Like you could sit there
of peace. Like you're like, I'm at peace.
Yeah,
and then you fade.
If you're not swelled by your traumas and thinking about this or that, if you could just be in the moment and be with like your grandkids or eat a good meal, and even though you're about to die, you can hone that moment and still love just life before you fade away into nothing. So,
but now you're sitting here. If I die, we're $50,000 in debt, and that's going to be another $40,000 for the funeral. And how the hell is Marjorie going to pay for all that? She hasn't worked in 20 years. My kids are going to pay it. They just got out of college. They have student loans. They have $100,000 in student loan debt. How are they going to pay for all of my bills?
Get that bitch out of my room. I ain't done with it. That'd be no. That's
like you're trying to find Zen. You're like, my family is collectively in about $1 million worth of debt. I have to survive, because if I don't, then they have to do that, and I can't. Here, I think I've got someone asking about my extended warranty. Let me just check that real quick.
Oh, you're good.
All right. Yeah. So look, let's end this on the UFOs.
Let's end this on death.
Yeah, right. We're not ending this on death. Let's end this on UFOs. What do you think? We have all these videos. They fly 80,000 to a feet off sea level within a second. They can apparently run underwater because they didn't find that crashed one that splashed down.
Recently. Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks pretty fucking sick.
Is it the Chinese? Is it the Russians? Is it aliens?
I mean, I want to say aliens because it's fun.
I want to say they want to be aliens.
Sounds so exciting, but what the fuck could be doing that? I mean, the only thing I could think of is our measuring is fucked up. However, we're measuring these things, but I don't know. Like, there's nothing in our technology that can be doing any of that, right?
No. How aware are you? Because I had to explain it to my father because he saw it. He's like, oh, that's probably just something new. I had to explain what was actually happening in the video because I watched the Joe Rogan with Commander David Fravor. So and the one that he did with Lex Friedman. So I kind of not like at a professional level
one, but I saw the Joe Rogan one. Yeah. It looked man. I couldn't tell you. It looks like
blocking radar, no heat exhaust.
And how do we know how big this thing is?
I think he said it was like bigger or as big as the fighter jet, probably bigger.
Okay, so they can measure how big that shit was.
Let me double check, because like maybe I want to say it was like some of them were like 1,300 feet long to a couple of football. Like I think one of them was a couple of football fields. I don't know, because that scares that kind of scares the shit out of me. How big was the Tic Tac UFO?
If that's the case, man, there ain't no way China. Man, look at China's space program. They ain't fucking doing any of that shit.
Yeah, they just got something to Mars.
Yeah, they're definitely. And what if anything, it's got to be something that we're doing. But is it something in another organization's testing out? But there's no way we have technology like that's moving like that. So the only other explanation is it's either a malfunction on the measuring device that caught it, or it is some multi-dimensional fucking beings going through parallel universes. Who knows? Or it's fucking aliens. Yeah. I don't know.
It's something. Because apparently, like San Diego, apparently they see that shit weekly.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the kind of like hillbilly in me is like, why don't you just shoot one of them down? And then you're like, well, I might not want to shoot it down if you can't actually see it with your radars.
Oh, I wish they could get a clear it's like, why does every fucking video got to be black and white little dot?
Oh my God.
Just give me something. I guess, I mean, I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson, I can't fucking say his name. Tyson, he was going against it with Joe Rogan, basically saying how, did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
Talking about it's probably like a measuring fuck
up.
Yeah,
no, you get that smart, your literal body kind of like processes itself off the scientific method. So like literally all it is for him is he doesn't have one of those boxes check marks, so it's automatically false.
Yeah.
There's a point you get so smart to some point where you just become a buzzkill. Yeah,
exactly. He is kind of a buzzkill now, man.
He's great, but at the same time, those type of people aren't good for speculation.
Yeah, it's no fun.
You can't speculate with that guy. You can't just be like I was like, even myself, I'm like, because they're supposed to like report everything by the end of June. Or by the beginning of June. I'm like, what if they just come out and say, okay, there's 7 species of aliens that we absolutely know exist, 7 different species, 7 different planets. We haven't made contact with any of them, and that's it.
Where the fuck are they coming from, though? Like, where could they be living anyway? If they're going in the ocean, they've probably been here for a while. Maybe
or they're just chilling there. I mean, because if you can, because like the whole thing about space is one thing, but the ocean, you have to deal with pressure. But if they have a gravity-based engine that folds gravity around them, allowing them to essentially teleport, they could just keep it at a frequency that would kind of like displace the pressure of the water around them. So they could literally be at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, and as long as their engine holds, they're good.
Oh yeah, they probably have built civilizations deep in the rocks, and I don't know, they could be living in caverns that we don't even know about deep down.
Yeah. I like Joe's thing. I like Joe's explanation.
What do you say?
They're drones. They're like they're lookout drones. They're like a dude hooked up to a VR system, hooked up to the jet, and that's it. They're drones.
There's drones? Like our drones or their drones?
No, they're alien drones. It's literally the Mars rover of aliens.
That makes sense. Yeah, they could just be some drones from outer, from another planet, maybe. I just don't what planet. I feel like how far? I mean, if they're having that kind of technology where they're
Alpha
traveling.
Centauri, I mean, there's how many habitable planets? And that's off of the idea that they need to be a carbon-based, oxygen-breathing life. Like, what if they breathe vacuum?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And dude, the only thing I would love to see in my lifetime is that we find some fucking aliens. That would goddamn change everything. Our whole religions would be changed, philosophies, fucking our outlook on stuff, our motivate. Like, we would all be geared to, figuring this shit out.
What if the aliens are assholes? We try to like talk to them about alien philosophy. It's like, no, it's science or get the fuck out.
I just want to know what the fuck they see the world as. If they're doing shit like
it's
that. It's
science. They're Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, they're just straight up science.
Oh, your religion is dumb. You haven't seen God or Jesus, or you have no one's actually seen God or Jesus in the last couple hundred years that they've claimed. Okay, he's not real.
But they do have to have some kind of concept of what this all is.
Who says?
But you're going to be like Big Bang evolution?
Yeah, they're like, it's Big Bang. We've got data. That's what it is.
You don't think they're going to have any kind of...
I'm saying they could be. They could be.
Like fucking smoking some of that alien dope. Some motherfuckers out there speculating on what this all is about. Maybe.
No, I become inefficient. I can't solve. I solve 7,000 calculations a second sober. I do 5,000 when I'm high. That's a decrease in efficiency. That's dumb.
They're like, I don't got time for that shit.
We ain't got time for that shit.
Oh, well.
We're traveling planets, bitch. Why are you getting high? That's a day wasted. Do you know what you can do in a day?
Are they studying us? What do you think do you think they need this planet?
Who knows? I mean, we go and have doctors. We have people that have spent thousands of dollars and years of their life to study ants and butterflies.
Oh yeah, that's what Joe was saying.
Yeah. Someone's got us. Somebody's got us.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just looking at us, but also we got a sweet ass planet. Got a good little atmosphere, got some water, nice
dope planet.
But we're out here just crowding up the bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think they have time to sit here and talk to us about negotiations. I don't know. We'll see.
I bet at the same time, if we found a little village of monkey people in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, I would be the first one on a plane. Just be like, yo, what's up, my dude?
Yeah.
What you got? You got hallucinogenic honey out here?
Yeah.
Let's eat some weed honey or some acid honey.
Yeah. But for that's us being like normal fucking dudes who do TikToks and podcasts. But
exactly.
Fuckers who are, I'm sure the
thousands of years old, millions of years sophisticated.
Yeah, these are people. These are also, think about their society. The fucking chill, creative types are not the ones probably building the crafts that are going out there. This is business, baby.
They're probably not even designing them. They're like, we use the Fibonacci sequence to design our spacecraft.
Yeah. How do y'all not understand this? God, the science behind it, though, of how it's moving like that. What the fuck? What's going on?
Which we've known about this. Bob Lazar said the engines that they gave him to look after were gravity-based. You could grab the engine, it would float, but you couldn't touch it.
So this is some shit we're testing out still? Yeah, like you said, Bob Lazar, we probably have been able to move the craft around now and play with it. And maybe the aliens are dead. We haven't seen aliens in forever.
Right.
They landed here. They probably took them years to get out here. And
or we switched their drones on airplane mode so they can't we disconnected it from the pilot.
Yeah, there's probably a organization within our government that's playing, but I just feel like it would be we would just know about it. I feel like it would be leaked. I don't know
who could keep that secret for that long.
It cannot be. I just feel like it'd be leaked all over, man. There's
unless it's that what's his name? It's a comedian, like an old comedian. Like the president gets into office, they're going to change the world, and then the FBI of the FBI walks in and plays them the assassination video of JFK, but from a third party, never seen angle, where it's a government agent taking the shot. It's like, all right, you ready to cooperate now?
Yeah, getting gear. But for me, if I was the president, even I feel like Trump would. If
my God, he would have.
Oh yeah, dude, I would have been like, listen, they're gonna kill me.
Bernie said he would. He's like, my wife would make me.
Yeah. I would just feel like it'd be an obligation for humanity. I mean, I feel like at this many point of how many presidents there had to be at least one good one. I've been like, listen, there's some shit y'all don't know about. I mean, I feel like they would have dropped the knowledge. I don't know. There could be an organization that doesn't even tell the president. It could be even higher up. But like I said, this shit would have been leaked. There's no way.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got the FBI and the CIA telling the president, Mr. President, if you pull out of Afghanistan, then Al Qaeda is going to come back and take over, and now we're going to have another 9/11, and that's on your head, Mr. President. Do you want another 9/11 because you decided to pull out? So imagine they're like, Mr. President, we've done multiple focus groups, and we've actually had to kill the participants just to keep it from getting out. But our research shows that if you tell them about the aliens, then society will collapse. People won't want to go to work because they think the aliens are going to serve them as their new masters and overlords. Religion will die. The world will be plunged into chaos, and everything will turn out well, but after 50% of the population kills itself.
Well, fuck. Here, let's jump into conspiracies. What if it's aliens that are control of this whole planet right now? They're disguised. And when you do become a huge world leader, they bring you to the side and say, look, this is what we are. If you say anything, this is what will happen to humanity.
But I'm saying not as a conspiracy, but I'm saying that's what whatever shadow organization could, every time the president's says the word alien, or it's like, I like to know about the aliens, they come out, Mr. President, we're in charge of the aliens. There are aliens, it's real, but if you tell anyone, the world will literally collapse on itself, and it will be your fault. So go ahead, do it. Just don't come crying to us when you do it and destroy everything you've worked so hard. You've just now become president. You've got a second term. And what about the guy you're grooming? What about the guy the Democratic Party's grooming now? How is he going to become president if you destroy the country?
I hear you for sure. But what if you're like Jimmy Carter? You're like fucking 90-something.
Dude,
chilling.
Jimmy Carter's the GOAT.
He's chilling, isn't he? Goddamn. Old as shit, but he's still happy. Every time I see him, he's smiling and living life. But if I was him that old and I was a president and I had this knowledge, man, I'll drop that shit.
Yeah.
Let me write a book. Bring someone in.
Exactly. But who even knows, as when he was president, who even knew if he'd had that question as a serious thought?
Yeah. I mean, like I
said,
right
now, yes, absolutely. But how much does he remember?
The president is the main dude. Maybe he's just obviously a puppet. There's way more.
We can all agree that they're to some extent a puppet.
Yeah. So what makes us think that they're the ones that are getting all this information? They probably don't tell them shit.
The guy, the bookkeeper for the CIA. I can imagine he's the most powerful person, like Janice. Janice has worked for the CIA for 50 years. She knows everyone.
Yeah. But do you think the CIA would be the biggest group? I would. Corporations are bigger than our government at this point.
Yeah, but depending on how powerful they are, like Amazon, pretty close. Yeah, I'd say they'd about rival the CIA. But does Amazon have a kill squad?
Yeah. No, you're right.
What if Amazon had a kill squad? Could you imagine that shit?
I think that was like a Call of Duty fucking storyline where a corporation just started making their own militaries.
Yep. How close? What would we actually do? Like if like Disney's like we're going to start hiring mercenaries.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are we going to do? Are we going to tell them they can't do it?
Motivation is to just make shit for the people and make money. There's more power than trying to fucking just, what's the point of trying to go in there and unless that's interfering with their money making? Yeah, who knows? They could
exactly. Like it's like Pride Parade now. They don't want the cops there. They don't want the cops as a protective service, so the Pride organization has hired their own security. So,
what's a third party? Who the fuck?
Yeah, like a third party mercenary group. It's like so what's to stop Disney from being like one of their security guards? It's like, oh, you're jacked.
Yeah.
You want to kill people for the cause? It's like, what cause? The Mickey cause. Do you want a mouse tool?
And they have a fucking Mickey Mouse goddamn symbol on their chest.
They got their mouse tools where it's an iron sight with Mickey ears on the end.
They got Mickey ear helmets. That'll be fucking terrifying.
Oh my god.
Walk in your room.
Or it's like it folds on their helmet, it folds up in their speakers. You should not be here. Please leave or you will be terminated.
God damn.
Dude.
Who knows?
Because
man.
I always said at the beginning, like I can remember when the Hobby Lobby won the Supreme Court right to religion on basis of Obamacare and providing their employees with contraceptives. They won that Supreme Court. They don't have to do it because their religion says that, like, keeping a child from being born is murder or whatever have you. However the fuck they did that. I'm not a lawyer or anything. But a company, a corporation won a Supreme Court decision off of freedom of religion. So that says companies have rights. And if companies have rights, when does a company become a citizen? And when a company becomes a citizen, when can a company run for president?
Yeah, man. It's going to, especially, I mean, I feel like we're going to see something like that in the future. I mean, Amazon and fucking, like you said, Disney.
Amazon, I think it's WBS. They bought, the movie studio with the lion logo.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Amazon bought that.
It's like ABC. There's like, what the fuck? I can't remember the names, man, but there's something, I think, even beyond Disney that controls all this shit. Like if you look up I think
the Alphabet Corporation, they own Google and YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Who the fuck are they?
Oh yeah, no. Like we know who Google is, but the Alphabet Corporation. That's so fucking that sounds like a video game and antagonist.
The final goddamn boss you gotta get to. Like who is the CEO of that? Like I'd love to look that up. Like who the fuck is control of all this shit?
Oh my god. Who knows, man? Again, it's the aliens.
Those motherfuckers probably in cahoots with these goddamn UFOs.
Yeah. It's the aliens. It's the ABC Corporation. They put in their patent like 20 years ago for those spaceships, and just no one's looked into it deep enough.
We figured it out here. Bubs online. And fucking
Brock's Conversations for the End of the World. Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, look, it is, as always, it has been great to have you on. I don't know how I'm going to get this because we just ran into the conversation. There wasn't no welcome everybody kind of jump in, but
those are the best ones, man.
It's always the best one. Absolutely.
Yeah. You might have to do a little bit of editing, a lot of hiccups.
Oh no, this is gonna normally it's just like the first 5 minutes for the intro, and then it's we kind of bleed out. But no, this is gonna be a minute for editing.
Yeah.
But as always, man, it was great to have you here, and I can't wait to have you back next time.
Awesome, buddy. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Peace out.